been like a week since I have posted or gone live or anything. I've been going through a lot lately. Okay, hence the title. No shade to any man in my life. It's just that just experienced some trauma triggers recently. And I just want to talk about it because it's something that is all too familiar to the average woman. It's almost as if, sexual trauma from a man as a woman, it just seems very common. And also sexual trauma, a man's sexual trauma, I'm not, saying that a woman can't do those things because, both genders are guilty of, being predators. But it does seem to be more common that it's a man being a predator, but I'm not dismissing anybody's, situation, dealing with having a woman be a predator towards them because women can definitely be vicious also. But I'm just speaking from my experience as a woman, dating men, and having sexual situations with men. And this morning I was talking to myself, and I said to myself, why why do so many women have to be a victim of a man's lack of self-control? Why? Why do so many women have to be a victim of a man's lack of self-control? So often women are treated as if our bodies are not our own. Like so often men just feel like that it's there, so let me touch it. You know what I mean? And I got to this point in my life where I felt like the majority of men just don't understand boundaries and and just don't understand like how to be respectful towards a woman. And I also blame it on this new generation and the music and how it's just so degrading to women, and it kind of puts this idea in males' mind from a young age that it's okay to touch a woman inappropriately. I remember this lyric in this one song. I can't remember what hip hop song it was, but I'm pretty sure y'all would know because I don't be listening to this kind of music. But the dude was like, he said, I ain't got no manners for no, the S word, the inappropriate S word. Hello, Amazon product. How are you? Let me take my inhaler. He said, let me check the time, make sure. Okay. Um, he said, I ain't got no manners for no S word. The S word for a hoe. I ain't got no manners for no S word. I'll put my thumb in her behind. It was the lyrics of a song. It was a hip hop song. Pretty much just saying, I ain't got no manners for no girls who are hoes. I'm gonna put my hand on her wherever I want. And it's in a song and people bopping to it like, yeah, he ain't got no manners for no hoes. He can put his hand on her ass and he don't care. He not gonna ask her. And okay, she doesn't respect herself, but that doesn't mean that you should disrespect her also. That's her problem. That's her personal issue. And maybe you should respect her so that she can have it in her mind that she should be respected. A real man, no matter how the woman treats herself, he respects a woman because he sees the woman in her, despite the fact that she can or cannot see the woman in herself. He sees the woman in her. And I think about the story of Jesus in the Bible with the woman who slept with another man and everybody was judging her and hating on her. And God saw the woman in that woman who cheated and was sleeping around or whatever. He saw the woman in her and he was just like, I can't remember the whole story. But he wasn't going to treat her like crap because everybody else was. And just because she doesn't respect herself doesn't mean that you should disrespect her. That's her personal problem. And I just really, 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 really want men to understand that women, we have boundaries. And, so many times with trauma, men don't even realize they're causing a woman trauma. And that's the thing. We need to start teaching men that there are certain things you can and cannot do because a lot of times men don't know. Especially when they're boys, they don't know. They think that it's okay because no one's telling them that it's wrong. It's not okay to touch a girl anywhere on her body if she did not give you permission to do that. And it's especially wrong when she is intoxicated. It's especially wrong when she is under the influence of alcohol or drugs or marijuana or whatever it is. You can say, oh, marijuana is not a drug. Either way, it changes your perception of reality, so she's not herself. So don't touch her unless you know for a effing fact that she wants you to. If she never said, yes, touch me, then do not touch her. And even if she's saying yes, if she's intoxicated and she's saying, yeah, touch me, she's probably not in her right mind. So maybe you should say, I'm going to leave her alone because I don't want her to wake up and feel that I traumatized her and feel that I touched her inappropriately. If a woman is intoxicated, just leave her alone. Even if it's your girlfriend, your wife, whoever, just leave her alone until she's completely in her right mind. That way, no mistakes are made and no trauma is made. How about a man just keeps his effing hands to himself? How about that? Because so many women are a victim and they don't even, and then a man doesn't even know that he did anything wrong. He walks away like, oh, I was just having a good night. And then the girl lives with this trauma for the rest of her effing life. And she's terrified everywhere she goes. And then when she's in future relationships with good men, it suffers because of assholes. And that's my case. I have these trauma triggers from assholes, and then the good guys have to suffer. So that's what I had to say about that. Of course, there's going to be more that's going to come out. But I just really wanted to express that because it's just not addressed. Just don't touch a woman unless you know for a fact that she wants to be touched. And this is not going to be the last time that I'm going to talk about this on my channel because it really needs to be talked about. It really needs to be expressed. So many women, feel fucked up. You're not fucked up. You just feel fucked up, okay? You're not damaged goods. You're a perfectly whole woman. You just have trauma and you need therapy. You are loved. You are beautiful. And your pain and your trauma matters. And you should seek help. You should seek therapy. You should not feel that you are less worthy because of your trauma. Just because somebody else didn't know how to control themselves. They should be the one to feel bad, not you. So, men sometimes don't have the right perception of sex and what sex really is. And consent, yeah, that's a good sign that it's actual sex. Yeah. And maybe we should start teaching men what consent really is. This is something that is very, very important to talk about, and that's why I'm talking about it, because it is something that so many women go through. So many women. And it just seems like everywhere you go, somebody talks about how they had some type of situation where they felt violated. And it's just almost as if every woman almost at some point in her life had experienced a man not knowing how to keep his hands to himself. And that shouldn't be the norm. It really should not be the norm. But unfortunately it is, and it's all over the world. People are normalizing rape. They're normalizing sexual assault, and it shouldn't be normal. It's not okay, ladies. If you have a limit and you have a boundary, please let the man know. And if you're with a woman and you're in a relationship with a female, let her know. Whoever you're in a relationship with, you're in a relationship with someone who considers themselves to be binary. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is your body. This is your body. Your body. And and it has its own rights. You should have your own rights to your own body. So it kind of ruins relationships because you go into relationships with this trauma in the back of your mind, and you're scared that the guy that you're with, even if he comes off as a good guy, you pretty much feel that, yeah, he's a good guy, but he's still a pervert. You know what I mean? He's still, is capable of assaulting a woman. That's kind of like the mindset that I have had these past couple of days. And it's not good. I don't want to think that about men because there are some men in my life who would never. I just know for a fact. I have men in my life who I just know that they just would never do that to a woman. It's just like I never experienced that being around them. There was always a boundary and they never crossed it. And hooray to those men. You get a round of applause, and it's just sad that you have to praise a man for doing something that all men should do. All men should understand, okay, She didn't say that I should touch her, so let me not touch her. It's just something that all men should do, like. And so good men who just not sexually assaulting a woman get praise, and they should get praise, but at the same time, it shouldn't have to be like this. Oh wow, you didn't hurt a woman. Wow, that's so amazing. Like, it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be so normal that you have to praise a good man for doing something that a man should just do. And think about your mother. Think about your future daughters or your existing daughters or whoever, or your sisters or any female that you love. Think about, would you want a man to touch her inappropriately? No, you wouldn't. So think about her. Think about all the women in your family before you decide to touch a woman without her permission. Just don't touch her. I should just make a whole series called Don't Touch. Don't touch. Episode 1, don't touch, you know? Maybe. But I also don't want to have this idea that touch is negative, because for me, because of my traumas, I have had this thing in the back of my mind that intimacy is negative and it's scary. I literally have fear of intimacy because of experiences where it's just kind of hard for your mind to identify a good touch from a bad touch. And that's toxic, and it needs to be looked at. It needs to be addressed, and I need to address my traumas, and that's why I'm making this video. And trust me, when I can afford it, I will go to therapy, and I will talk about all of this with my therapist. Okay. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have trust issues because so many men, they put on a smile and act like they're this perfect guy. And then next thing you know, he's doing what the last guy did, which is, you say, no, I don't really want to do it. Come on, you know you want to do it. Like, oh, yes, you do. You know you want to do it. And like, how can you tell me what I want to do? How? Are you a woman? You know, like stuff like that. You know, I had this memory, this guy, I was so stupid and naive, and I got in his car because I thought we was just going to hang out because I was naive. I didn't know that Netflix and chill meant have sex. And he was like, let's hang out. I got in his car, and he was like trying to get me to like do sexual stuff with him. And I was like, I don't know you. And he was like, oh, come on, you know me. Mind you, I only met this guy once before this situation. And we didn't even have a full on conversation. He was just sitting in the room and we exchanged a couple of words. He said, oh, come on, you know me. He was just saying that to get me to do stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're right, I do know you. Let me go ahead and move, blah, blah, blah. Idiot. Sorry. It just makes me angry, okay? When y'all see me spitting out these words, it's because I'm angry and it's because I'm traumatized. I don't view all men this way. I know that all men are not like that. There's really some good men out here. But it just really makes me angry that guys are like that, you know? It's like, I don't know what it really stems from. And I feel like it's like poor parenting. Like your parents just didn't make you aware of how precious a woman's body is and how precious a woman's sexuality is, and you know, her virginity is also very precious, and we've been desensitized from that, and we have been taught that virginity is like you should just give it away as soon as you can, you know, and that's not how it should be. Virginity is very precious and you should keep it for as long as you can. And I've been going back and forth with myself trying to decide whether I should be celibate or not, you know, because I broke my celibacy like a few days ago. And it was good, I ain't gonna lie. It was good. But at the same time, I'm still battling with good and bad touch and feeling like I'm also very picky about my partners, and I'm very picky about when I have sex and how I have sex and where I have sex. You know, blame it on me being a Taurus, so the Virgo rising. I'm just very picky about my body and what happens to my body and who does what to my body. And so it's just a lot. And right now I don't want to go further with my sex life until I talk to God about it. Okay? So I got the New Testament and I'm going to be reading it, honey. I'm going to be reading it, you know. But yeah, I've made some stupid mistakes. My battery's low. I've made some stupid mistakes recently, and I'm not perfect. And I'll talk about that in another video that involves relationships also. But I hope that you enjoyed this live. I have to go to work. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if there are any other topics that y'all want me to talk about on my channel that involve this, boundaries, relationships, all that type of stuff, just put it in the comment section and let me know. All right? I love y'all. Bye-bye.